So it was really fun to watch this develop. You know, it started out, as my dad had mentioned, every other week in high school. So what happened to this one? Oh, what happened to that one? Oh, what about this one? He seemed nice, you know. And it was just like a new one all the time. You know, she'd be like, he was nice, whatever. Okay, moved on.
So I haven't known Christian as long as Jacqueline's known Katie, but Christian and I first met our freshman year at Ohio State, which would have been back in the spring of 2014. And since then, we became closer friends throughout, you know, our time there, and even became roommates for 2 years.
She'd talk about Christian, and no, we're just friends. Okay. And it was, well, I can't date him. He's an ROTC, so we'd have to do like paperwork and disclose our relationship. And I was like, okay, you're friends, cool, right, okay.
And as we continued to hang out, we got really close with each other. All you guys that are Christian's friends know he's a very personable, likable guy. So we continued that and became great friends.
She's like, okay, we're dating, but we can't tell anybody. Like, okay, I'm pretty sure they've all figured it out. But hey, maybe not.
For a while, we would tell each other everything, like what's going on in life, what's going on in ROTC, what's going on in school, maybe any type of girls we like. Standard college kid stuff.
So then finally it came out, and then it was just kind of waiting. And then we were in Dallas like 2 years ago because she wasn't here yet. And Christian told me he was going to propose, and I was like, all right.
And then it was in the spring of our senior year when all of a sudden Christian was acting a lot weirder, at least to me. I was like, something's up. Something is definitely up, because this guy always tells me everything, and now he's like kind of not saying much. Like, I felt like a mom when your kid like goes out and you're waiting on the couch with like the one lamp on, waiting for them to come home. Like, so how was your night? And be like, good, go to their bed, slam the door. That's like, I was like living that for a few weeks.
And then I'm like waiting, but I don't know when this is gonna happen. But it finally happened. I don't think it was as long as it felt like, because I had to not tell anybody.
This eventually culminated to a Sunday afternoon when Christian told me he was gonna go to dinner with his Aunt Ike and Uncle Kev, shout out. And I was like, wow, that's great. He cares so much about his family, as all you guys know, and all of his friends, that he's gonna go visit them. I'm like, I feel like a bad person. I should see my family that's like 20 minutes away.
So while everybody has talked about how wonderful marriage is and how you love each other and all of these great things, I'm going to share one of my favorite quotes that I think is very appropriate, and I think everybody who is married and has been married for a long time can probably agree.
So a few weeks go by and it's just me and him in our 2-bedroom apartment. So like, it's just us. And then one morning I'm just not gonna say anything. And I was like looking at him, and he's like, I could tell he wanted to tell me something. And I'm like, I'm going to like persevere through this super awkward silence and just let him say it.
So this is from The Notebook. So for anybody who hasn't seen The Notebook, you know, it's about this couple that dated in high school and they really loved each other, and then he wasn't good enough for her family, so she moved and then she rediscovered him. And when they re-meet and they decide that they do really want to be together, he tells her, he says, so it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be really hard. We're gonna have to work at this every day, but I want to do that because I want you, and I want all of you forever. And it's you and me every day.
And honestly, for a while, just like, I was like, does he have another best friend? Like, I didn't even really suspect a girl. I'm like, is he looking for a new roommate? Like, something's fishy. So I'm like, and I see him start to say something. I'm like, all right, I'm mentally prepared. Go ahead. And he looks at me and he's like, so I didn't go to Aunt Ike and Uncle Kevin's house for dinner a few Sundays ago. I went to the Phantom of the Opera with Katie. And that's when I was like, wow, he really likes Katie. He's holding this one close to the chest.
So, marriage is great, and it's wonderful, and you love each other, and you have these fun times, and these wonderful things called children, maybe eventually, and all these things. Yeah, kids. But marriage is hard, and you do have to work at it every day.
After that, we went to UPT together in Oklahoma, and they were apart, and that's really when I realized how happy Katie makes Cristian. When Katie's in a room, Cristian lights up, and you can really just see how happy she makes him.
And you're going to have to work at it, but I think you guys can do that. You've already been through a whole lot in your time, and so remember how happy you are, and remember you love each other, and it'll all work out.
And I guess finally, I'm going to give some advice. A good friend once told me, and that's that long-distance relationships are like holding your breath underwater. And the first time you see your person in a long time, it's like coming up from air. And we're all so grateful that we can be here and share this fresh breath of air with you guys tonight.